So pharmacies that are well versed in dispensing low dose naltrexone work very carefully with a wide variety of providers. Now, some of the providers are much more educated than others, and sometimes the compounding pharmacies have personnel that actually provide the education too. And of course, using these books is just top notch. Providers don't necessarily have to follow the patient all the time. A lot of times, pharmacists can do that as well. And like I said, there are some electronic platforms where the patient can type in questions or literally answer questions. And that feedback is brought back to the pharmacy. And then the pharmacist can evaluate that and then send out a response. So there are, Linda, I hope it's okay that I mention a couple of platforms
Yep.
specifically. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So a lot of pharmacies are now using like Outcome MD, which was a platform that was actually developed by a surgeon who performs specific surgeries, and the patients always ask questions like, so if I have this surgery, what can I expect? So he developed this platform, actually showed that the patients at 2 weeks after surgery, they felt pretty good, but at 4 weeks, they felt even better. And at 6 weeks, they were feeling fabulous. Well, the patients are literally answering these surveys, and the surveys take just a minute or so to answer. Usually they're, oh, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 20 questions, but they're really easy to answer, very quick. A link is literally texted to you so you can answer the questions. And with that, that information is collected so that we can see how the patient improves or doesn't improve. And usually the patient will see this gauge of, oh my gosh, look at how well I'm doing. And that then helps the patient to understand that they are on a road to progress, that they are on a healthier road, and that their journey is going to be a lot shorter than they originally anticipated. It also helps them to understand what dosage form is best for them and whether or not we need to decrease a dose or increase the dose. There are areas where a patient can say, all of a sudden I'm feeling really crappy. I'm getting a stomach upset. I've got a headache. And then we can help with dosage adjustments. So Outcome MD is a platform that a provider can use, a pharmacy can use. It's really easy, very, very helpful, inexpensive. And it literally, I, so myself and another colleague helped build the LDN questions. And the LDN questions are based on disease state. So whether you're using it for weight loss or autoimmune or chronic pain, very different questions. The cool thing about this platform is that these questionnaires were actually built by the FDA for drug study and drug trial. That's why I really like this platform. And more pharmacies are picking it up. What I have found is in speaking with the owners of those pharmacies is that they actually have very high patient outcomes. In other words, their patient populations on LDN are doing very, very well. Probably better than those pharmacies that are just using paper or waiting for the patient to call. Most patients won't call. They won't call to ask questions because they assume that the pharmacy is just too busy and they can't get any questions answered. So instead, they just stop their medication. And then it could be months before the pharmacy actually figures out that the patient isn't getting a refill. And that doesn't matter if it's a liquid or a troche or capsule, it doesn't matter. The other platform that I like was actually developed specifically for hormones, but can very easily be applied to low dose naltrexone, is called Artemis Calendar. And the difference between these platforms is that Artemis Calendar is actually patient based. So the patient pays for that subscription, the patient owns that data, and the patient can take it wherever they want. And that calendar follows them. And they can rate their daily symptoms by 5 different smiley faces, where, they're either sad, they're okay, they're kind of midline, happier, or really doing great. And the Artemis calendar was originally developed for hormones, but like I said, is really easily adapted to low dose naltrexone because it doesn't matter what you're using low dose naltrexone for, because it is so easy to integrate and it's so easy to catch information real time. So those are the two platforms that I know of that I've worked with that I really like. And again, they're not very expensive. They collect data, and it's data that we can use to support patients and help them to be healthier quicker and literally show them how well that they're doing. I love that part.